got Gillian Robertson back here on the program. She's going to be taking on Molly McCann at UFC Fight Night 130 on May 27th. Gillian, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great this morning, just getting ready for the fight. I'm 100% excited for this one. Just great matchup for me, more than ready.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the opportunity in a sec. But first off, what are Fridays typically like for you in terms of training and everything? Do you get any rest on a Friday, or is it still just a regular training day?
It's still just a regular training day for me. Every single day I'm in the gym, usually 2 or 3 times a day, so it's just nonstop all week.
Gotcha. And I guess you're going to practice after this, or did you already have practice earlier?
No, I'll be heading to practice right after this.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate it. It's been a while since we've seen you in the cage. Of course, you fought back in December, and here we are talking about a fight at the end of May. Did you want this much time off, or were you trying to get in there a little bit earlier?
I was trying to get it in there as soon as possible. I was just waiting for the call from the UFC, waiting for an opponent for this whole time. But I've just been in the gym getting ready this whole time, just waiting for the name.
Were there any difficulties getting opponents, or was it just that the UFC just wasn't able to find a card for you to fight on?
I think it was more just the UFC wasn't able to find a card for me to fight on. They were just trying to find the right opponent for me, a good matchup for me. So it was just the timing that needed to be.
And, of course, your first fight overseas, you must be pretty excited about that, getting some frequent flyer miles here, heading over to the UK.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely crazy to me. I've never been over to UK at all. I've never really traveled at all. So to be able to do this and be able to, it's like living my dream and be able to travel. It's just crazy.
Yeah. When are you flying down there? Have you mapped that out yet?
May 22nd.
Oh, okay, good. So you'll get a couple days. I know you don't have to really get too acclimatized. I know there is a time difference. I believe they're 5 hours ahead of Eastern time, I think. So, but it's not like going to Brazil, right? Like it's not like there's a different climate or whatever, right? So.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's nothing too different. It'll just be the same.
So you're going into enemy territory on this one. That's what's kind of neat about this matchup. You know, Molly making her debut. She's from the UK. Does that make this matchup a little bit more exciting, knowing that you could go in there and spoil the party?
It definitely does. I like going into people's hometown fighting. I feel like it kind of takes a little bit pressure off you, puts a lot more pressure on them when you're walking out and the whole crowd's screaming their name. So I like to be the one to upset the night.
Did you know much about Molly before taking this fight, or did you have to kind of look her up after?
I didn't know much about Molly before this fight. I got the name, and then that's when I started doing my research, and I feel like she's a great matchup for me.
Yeah, it's a really exciting fight, and I think obviously she was, had a decorated career in Cage Warriors, did quite well there. So it's kind of like, Ultimate Fighter meets Cage Warriors in that way. How do you feel like you match up against her in this fight?
I feel like it's a classic like grappler versus striker kind of thing, where I feel like she's definitely a good striker, definitely very aggressive, and she would probably give me trouble on the feet, but I don't think it's going to be on the feet long. So that's where it's my world.
And one of the things you sort of have in your pocket is you train at a great camp, an American Top Team. You get really good training partners. Has it just been the usual, run-of-the-mill training partners like Joanna, like, Trish Cicero? It seems like you have a lot of bodies to work with at American Top Team.
Oh, yeah, we have a great girls team. I want to say we have about 10 pro girls, so it's just we have tons of bodies where you won't get it at any other school. Any other school, you see like 1 or 2 girls, and we end up having to train with the boys all the time. And girls are just different. We move different. We're more flexible. It's just 100% different aspect of the sport when you're working with girls to working with boys. So it's really nice to have such a high-level girls team. And, of course, like you said, girls like Joanna and Amanda Nunes and things like that, like those girls are – it's just an honor to be in their presence, never mind to be able to train with them.
Have you been able to train with Kayla Harrison? I know she made the move down there. She's a little bit bigger than you, obviously, but, obviously the judo background, I'm sure, would help in training camp.
Yeah, I actually have been able to train with her a couple times, and she is a little bit bigger than me, so she doesn't work with a lot of the girls a lot of the times, just because she's looking to fight a higher weight. But, the caliber of her skill and her mindset, even, you see it in training. She's ready to go all the time, ready. She has that champion mindset. She's just ready.
Do you have to alter your weight cut at all for this fight with the fact you're traveling, or does it just stay the same as far as, cutting weight?
I'm not too heavy right now, so I won't really have to worry about a weight cut too much. I'm walking like 135 right now. So, yeah, it's going to be nothing for the weight cut, so it's not even a worry in my mind.
And how do you see this fight playing out on May 27th?
I see it finishing first round. I see me going out there, being able to get my takedown and being able to either secure a choke or an armbar in the first round and it being over.
And we talked about the layoff off the top for you. Are you looking to get back in there a little bit sooner as far as your next fight, if all goes well and, you're healthy and everything after this fight?
Always. I'm always looking to get back in there as soon as possible. I'm always ready to fight. I'd like to be the most active fighter in the UFC if I could, just waiting for the fights to come up.
Have you been watching The Ultimate Fighter this season with the undefeated guys, or after your appearance on the show, you're just like, I'm done with it?
I've just been so focused on my fight camp right now. I haven't paid attention to anything else.
No, I hear you. Yeah, laser focus. Have you been watching any like Netflix or movies or anything like that?
Usually just The Office on Netflix, always.
Nice. And I'm assuming the U.S. version, right? Because there's the British version and the U.S. version, right?
Yeah, I usually stick to the US version.
Have you got through the entire series, or do you just like, or like, how do you watch repeats? What's sort of the?
Yeah, several times.
Okay, good stuff. So you're like, so I bet if like we put it on, you could probably like recite maybe some of the episodes or something, right?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have some episodes word for word.
Now, are you a Jim character, or do you like Dwight? Like, who's sort of your favorite character in there?
Probably Jim and Pam together. I
Okay.
love them more than the couple of them is just, they're perfect. I love them so much.
Excellent. Well, this is going to be a great fight. It's UFC Fight Night 130 coming up here on May 27th. Gillian, it's always good talking to you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
On Instagram and Twitter, I'm at savage_UFC. And just a shout out to Sand Viper, who's my sponsor right now, and all my coaches and teammates at American Top Team, and that's about it.